What is up, YouTube, Manga Hall collectors, Manga Hall viewers, white noise users, everything in between? Thanks for coming out to check out my channel. Today I am doing a August Manga Hall video, and if you like it, please comment, like, subscribe, usual spiel. I do plan on doing these videos every month, and if you're into magic, I do custom cube videos, or I'm planning to do custom cube videos, so if that is your thing, definitely subscribe. Make sure you get all those notifications. Anyway, without further ado, I do have I would like to say decent sized haul, but I don't know. It's pretty much relative to you, whether this is a big haul, medium haul, nothing, you tell me. I don't want to make the video super long, so I'm just going to go over each book that I got, why I got it, where I'm at with the series itself. I'm horrible and I don't have an accent to pronounce Japanese names, so I will do my best to avoid doing so whatsoever. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't tell you who it's by and the art is by, because it's going to be right there on the book somewhere, so I apologize in advance. Anyway, without further ado, the first series you got in front of you is Samurai 8. This is a series that is made by the creator of Naruto. It is a sci-fi take on a ninja series. I have read Volume 1. It is interesting enough to me that I decided that I wanted to buy the rest of the series. This is a 5-volume series. I found Volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5 on sale, so I just bought them all. If I end up not liking the series, it's okay. It's only 5 volumes, and having a complete series on a shelf, I think always looks nice and is always nice as a collector in any field. Having complete set just feels nice. So yeah, only read Volume 1, but probably finishing the series. The next one is Behind the Scenes 4. This is a series that I am kind of stuck in. I'm not super in love with it, but I also don't hate it. Generally, after 3 volumes, you can kind of tell like where you're at with the manga. I've read all 3 volumes, and I still don't know whether I want to continue. But I bought Volume 4, so maybe subconsciously I'm into this. MC's gets dragged into being part of an art club, but he actually really enjoys it, and he's kind of like a problem solver, and he's really good with his hands and coming up with problem solver for art essentially. So I don't know, I definitely like the unique aspect, and I like the main character, but the other characters don't really draw me in. So I don't know, but I am invested in Volume 4 at least. I don't think I'm going to get to this volume anytime soon, so I don't know if I'll have a review or an opinion on it, but I have bought it and it's on my shelf. Excuse me. Bakuman Volumes 2, 3, and 4. This is something that I bought purely because it is my favorite non-sports anime of all time. I've watched the anime 5 times, and when I first got into manga collecting, I was like, okay, you know what? The first complete set that I want on my shelf is Bakuman. So I actually went on Amazon, bought the box set, $195, 1-day shipping, waited anxiously on my day off to get it, got it, opened it up. Oof, absolutely breathtaking. I was pumped, I was stoked. Lifted it up out of the box. The other side was used as a step stool. Someone at Amazon used my box set as a step stool. How dare they? Anyway, yeah, it was super tragic. Ended up just returning it, but it literally concaved in. All the books were crooked. But yeah, so I just decided that I'm just going to collect all the books on their own volumes. I can't find Volume 1 anymore, but I do have Volumes 2, 3, and 4, and I'm just going to go from there. Hopefully I can find, Volume 1 used somewhere, or maybe online or something. But this is definitely a series that I want, and, to say that I'm invested in is an understatement. Like I said, I've watched the anime 5 times, and I've just really enjoyed it. If you don't know what it's about, it's 2 friends who go on to, make their own manga series and make it, huge. It goes over the entire process of, making manga, the art, making story, and getting published and stuff. It's like an inside look at the manga business, and I don't know if that was my whole appeal to it or not, but I was hooked, and I'm super into it. So Volumes 2, 3, and 4. This is Norigami 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, missing 6 and 7, 8, and 9. This is an anime that has been on my watch list for 2 years or something. It's absurd. I've never actually gotten around to it, not because I don't want to, but because I keep forgetting. I always something new always comes out, or new season comes out, I'm oh yeah, definitely watching that or something, and this gets pushed to the back burner, and then I see it in my bookmarks or something, and it's just oh yeah, okay, I should probably check this out too. Anyway, I found volumes 1 to 4 super cheap on Facebook, so I bought them, and then 5, 8, and 9 I bought just at Indigo. I haven't read any of them yet, but I will get to it. I just have a lot on my to be read list, but I'm really happy with the start that I have. because I at least have 5 volumes. And like one thing that I've noticed that I like when it comes to manga collecting is spines that aren't just black or white look so nice, or just like pop. And this is not just black or white, so I'm super happy about that. One Punch Man 22. I have volumes 1 to 21, and I'm just gonna keep collecting them. One Punch 20, or sorry, One Punch 22. One Punch 22 is just like the newest book that's come out, and as someone who really liked the anime, I'm going to support it as much as I can. You know, creator, author. If you don't know what One Punch Man is, it is about a hero who can basically take out anyone with one punch. And he ends up becoming a superhero, but he's lowly ranked because everyone thinks like he's fake, or it's just not possible, or just like underestimated him because he looks just like some scrawny dude who just first day at the gym. So yeah, super good comedy. Main character is more like comedic relief than he is like an actual like character, but super solid, really funny, really like it. Witch Hat Atelier 1. This is something that actually appeared on my Facebook feed. You know, Facebook's always listening, so it was just like, hey, you might like this series from Amazon or something. I don't actually remember what was on my Facebook feed, but it was from Facebook, and there was like the top comment was, man, if you like Kiki's Delivery Service and Harry Potter, this is a book for you. And I was just like, okay, well, I do like Kiki's Delivery Service, and I was definitely a Harry Potter head when I was like, you know, younger, so I figured I'd give it a shot. I found volume 1 like at the Indigo by my house. The art's really nice, and after reading this volume, I can say that I'm pretty much on board. I am gonna try and find all the volumes or try to catch up. I don't think it's out, or like I don't think it's completed. I'm pretty sure it's at like 7 or 8 right now, maybe 9. I don't know, but I am gonna try and find all the volumes and purchase them. Pretty stoked. Ragnar Crimson 3. This was actually my first impulse buy when it came to manga collecting. On literally the first day where I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to collect manga. I saw Ragnar Crimson 1, which I have right here. And the front just looked like, oh man, like medieval kind of like fantasy stuff, D&D. And I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. I have volumes 1 and 2. I did read volume 1 and 2. Really liked it, so I know that I'm going to continue the series. I'm actually not going to read this one for a while. These books are like a little bit, you know, thicker than other manga, which is nice because I don't really read it in like one sitting unless I have like 2-3 hours to, you know, waste away at night. Sorry, not waste away, just to use that night. But yeah, I kind of want to sink my teeth into this when I have like 3 volumes to read and just eat up an entire night of reading. But I did enjoy volumes 1 and 2, and if you like the kind of like fantasy, what's it called, fantasy like action style, you'll probably enjoy it too. Also, Collared Spines. Next one is Levius 1 and 2. This one's a little interesting. This one actually got recommended to me from a Chapters employee. They were just like, man, I see you here all the time, like, what are you reading or what are you into? And I was just like, well, damn, now that you say that I'm here all the time, you're right. So I just said, you know, I was into like a bunch of like action manga, and I wanted to, you know, kind of like look more for that just to start and then go from there. And then she said that she like really enjoyed this story, but the story that she read was like a different like version or something. I didn't actually understand what she meant until I bought it. They had volume 1 and 2, so I bought them obviously, but I didn't realize that the books themselves were flipped, so you don't read them backwards. They're, you know, like a regular light novel and stuff. But, you know, aside from that, I've read volumes 1 and 2, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know if dark's the right word, but like the character has just been through so much shit that you're just like, you're just pulling for him, you know? And, you know, volume 1 and 2 were really good, and I'm gonna try and find, you know, volume 3 or whatever it's at right now. I haven't actually looked, but I read this in one sitting, and I'm a fan. The next one is another series that is against my rule that I don't start a new series unless I can find volume 1 and 2 in front of me. But this one's like a bit of an odd case. So I actually watched this anime first a couple of months ago. No, actually, probably about a year now. COVID got my times messed up. About a year ago, I finished season 1. I think there's 2 or 3 seasons, and I was really into it. It's an interesting story, interesting take, and as I was walking through Indigo, I actually saw volume 1 turned on the shelf like this, so I can see the cover. And I didn't even know that it was Golden Kamuy, you know. I just looked at it, and I was just like, oh man, this cover pops. So I decided to look at it, and I was just like, wait, I'm watching this. You know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, pump the brakes on the anime. I'm going to read the manga, or collect the manga, and then go at it. So I already know that I'm, you know, invested in it. So I'm just going to buy all the volumes that I can. I found volume 11 for like 40% off, so I decided to snap buy it. And I have a couple other volumes like on my Indigo cart online, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet, just because I kind of want to do like a big purchase at once. But definitely something that is, or definitely a series that I'm a fan of, and will collect and read once I get it all. This one was a weird one. I was actually just browsing YouTube, and a trailer came out for this manga that it was getting an anime adaptation, and it was like horror comedy, and I was just like, what? How is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, I've laughed at horror movies because they were so bad, but I've never actually read or watched something that is literally meant to be horror comedy. Anyway, found out that it was on stock at my local Indigo, so I, you know, took the 5-minute drive, popped in, bought it, read it the same day, and I was just like, wow, this is pretty good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and find volumes 2 and 3. But I just bought volume 1 because it was interesting, and because of getting anime adaptation, I think that was like the little kick in like the butt to like, okay, yo, commit to this, because you might not be able to find this later. And yeah, I'm glad I found volume 1, and hopefully I can find the other ones. Dead Mount Death Play 6. I've only up to volume 5 for this one. Like, I'm currently reading 5. It's like literally on my shelf, and it has a bookmark in it. And I really like this story. It's comedy, kind of, not gory, but it's got like that kind of dark twist. It's not like dark betrayal, whatever story like wrenches with your feeling. It's just got like that dark atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like just the fight scenes itself. It's like the book itself is kind of like serious and has bits and like pieces of comedy thrown in, but it's not like it's trying to be funny. It's just there. And yeah, the main character is like super sick, and they have a couple of side characters that just kind of like add to the whole story. You can see there's character development, and yeah, either way, like, I don't want to drag on, but this was a series that I liked. I knew nothing about. I bought volumes 1, 2, and 3 2 months ago, and I liked it, so I'm just going to continue on. And this is the newest one. It just came out. Servant 1, I found this on Facebook Marketplace for $10, so I decided to buy it. I remember watching this anime like when it first came out, and I never finished it. I don't know what happened. I think I like got caught up with like school or something, and I kind of forgot it existed. And then I just saw this book on Facebook, and I was like, oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna buy that series, or try to buy that series, and then rewatch the anime. My God, I am just mixing up all the words. But yeah, so decided to buy it for cheap. Gonna try and find the rest. Obviously, haven't read that one yet because I want to kind of have a couple volumes. But Haikyuu 2839. If you ever watched my first video, I talked about how this was like one of my favorite sports anime, so I wanted to have it as a collection, not to read. But I will probably end up reading the books that are post manga, because I know that there is like, you know, a time skip and stuff, and that'll be interesting for me. But for right now, it's just collecting. And I just found, you know, I just happened to buy these 2 books because I didn't already have them. So this was just merely or purely to add to my collection. The next one here is Goblin Slayer 1, 2, and 3. I was actually surprised I could find all 3 volumes, and from the same place. And this is an anime that has been on my watch list since it came out. Like, it was super hyped. A lot of my friends were talking about it. I heard it was kind of gory and like dark and twisted, and like it wasn't for everyone. And I don't know what put me off from watching it, but I just never did. And then I actually found the manga for volumes 1 to 3, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna read this first, kind of give myself a sample before I sink my teeth into the anime. So found volumes 1, 2, and 3, decided to buy them. Haven't read them. They're all still in shrink wrap, but I will get to this eventually. Next one is Jormungand 1. Got this from Amazon for like 35% off. It was a volume 1, which is what kind of piqued my interest. I actually don't know anything about it. I kind of bought it on impulse because it was on sale. But kind of like war and attrition kind of videos, like modern, like not Call of Duty, but like modern kind of action. It's kind of something that I don't really see a lot in manga, at least the manga that I've been reading. It's always been like, fantasy, D&D kind of style, or like post-apocalyptic stuff. So to see something like this that could be like modern is something that I want to give a shot. It's still sealed. I haven't read it yet, but I will get to it, and from then on I'll see if I want to collect the rest of the series. But yeah, got volume 1 for cheap, so I figured I'd at least have it on my shelf. This series, Monster Girl Apocalypse 1 and 2, I know, what the hell is this doing? Or what the hell is this? This to be honest, I have no idea what I was thinking when I bought it. I literally saw it on the shelf, and I was just like, what the hell? But to give this manga credit, it is actually super interesting. Now, for me, I have always been a big zombie person. Like, I love zombie movies, zombie board games, zombie books, whatever. Like, that's my go-to. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't know what you want to do and you're just like, yo, let's do something zombie related, I will be like, yeah, sure, sounds good. Like, I'm in. Like, never know. Even if I've done it like 100 times, let's go. It's zombie themed. So yeah, post-apocalyptic, kind of like zombie themed. It is targeted towards older audiences because there's a little bit of nudity and stuff in it, but it is a like surprisingly good like start. I've only read volumes 1 and 2. I can't find volume 3 anywhere, but I have read these 2 volumes, and I read them in one sitting, and I was super into it. So if you're into zombie like kind of themes and stuff, this might be for you. Don't get thrown off by the name. I literally sat in the aisle for like 5 minutes thinking if I wanted to commit to this or not because it sounded interesting, but I don't know. Monster Girl Apocalypse is just definitely not a name that I would have thought was interesting. But yeah, if you're into like the whole kind of like zombie theme, surviving post-apocalyptic, this might be for you. Okay, and the last set of books that I bought this month, We Never Learn volumes 1 to 12. This one definitely caught me off guard. I bought volumes 1 to 3 because I'm into like the harem rom-coms. Like, that was like an anime that I generally watch to kill time, and I figured like a manga would be kind of be like interesting too. So I bought volumes 1, 2, and 3, and read them, and was just like, yeah, you know what? Let's get volume 4. Let's get volume 5. You know what? Let's just get the whole series. So I have volumes 1 to 12. I have just finished reading 10. I am probably gonna read 11 and 12, within the week, and then I'll be trying to grab, the rest of the series. I don't think it's finished. I think it's at like 17 or something, but I have 1 to 12, and I've chugged through this, so I am a fan. If you're into like harem rom-coms, this is a series that I think you'll enjoy. That is it. That is every book that I bought in August, and yeah, I have read through a bunch of them, and it has been a good month for me. So yeah, that is my video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some insight on some new books. If you have recommendations for me, always feel free to give it to me. You guys giving suggestions means that I have more on my list, which means videos are longer and more content. So you want to support the channel, give me more content. Anyway, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Later.